The Whispering Man. The road stretched ahead, empty and dark, the dim glow of flickering streetlights barely piercing the heavy downpour. Thunder rumbled in the distance, a low, ominous growl that made Lena tighten her grip on the wheel. Her nerves were already on edge, an uneasy feeling settling deep in her gut. Then her phone buzzed beside her, breaking the heavy silence. She glanced at the screen. Do not stop. Keep driving. A strange message. No name, no number, just a warning. She swallowed hard, her heart beginning to race. She looked around, but there was no one else on the road. Who the hell? She muttered to herself. Her headlights illuminated the stretch ahead, and that's when she saw it. A dark figure standing in the middle of the road, motionless. Her breath caught in her throat as she slammed on the brakes, her pulse hammering against her ribs. The figure did not move, did not flinch, just waited. She blinked, her mind struggling to process what she was seeing. And in that instant, the figure was gone, disappeared into the abyss of the night as if it had never been there at all. Her phone vibrated again. The screen glowed with another message. Do not look back. The whisper. A shiver crawled up her spine. Her breathing grew shallow, and for the first time, she realized the air inside the car felt wrong. Too thick, too heavy. It took her a moment to recognize the sound that did not belong. The faintest whisper, barely audible, yet unmistakable. Someone, something, was breathing behind her. The rear-view mirror. Slowly, her trembling hand reached for the rear-view mirror. As she tilted it, her reflection shifted, revealing a pale, grinning face staring at her from the back seat. A scream ripped from her throat as she yanked the wheel, the car swerving wildly. The world spun, the headlights flashing over wet pavement and skeletal trees before everything went black. The car loses control. A blur of motion, the tires skidding across the wet pavement. The car spun out, headlights streaking across the trees. The roar of the storm was drowned out by the violent crash as metal twisted and shattered against the roadside embankment. Silence followed. When she came to, the rain still drummed against the wreckage of her car, now lying in a ditch. Her head throbbed, her vision blurring as she clawed her way out, gasping for air. She dragged herself onto the wet ground, the cold seeping into her bones. Her phone lay a few feet away, its screen glowing faintly. She hesitated before reaching for it, her breath hitching in her throat. You looked back. A shadow loomed over her. A voice, barely more than a breath, whispered an eerie tune into the night. Her scream was swallowed by the darkness as the world faded into nothingness. And then, only rain and silence remained.